We're live.
All right, so have a development review board meeting for January 29th. My name is Jim Robert. I am, I guess, going to be acting for a little bit here for as the chair. You'll have to bear with me because I don't normally do this. First application is 2467S, 3-lot subdivision, Alfred and Kimberly Wheeler. Are they present here?
I'm here.
Alfred Wheeler.
And I'm here as a surveyor representative.
Okay. Anybody else think they may want to testify on this subdivision? The reason why I'm asking is I have to swear you in. Okay, apparently not. So I'll swear the two of you in. You swear to say, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth on this issue in front of us today.
Yes.
All right. So you're looking for a 3-lot subdivision on Brook Road in North Wolcott, 678.
If you want me to come up and explain it?
Sure, that would be very helpful. I personally have a couple questions, but
Yep.
I'll let you explain it to me first.
So the property had never been surveyed. Oh, I'm Matt Reed, by the way. Bruce Wheeler. Yeah, Bruce. So, property had never been surveyed before. Adjacent properties had. So I was the first one to actually survey this property in whole. And then Tom Rosiniak is a septic engineer that did the septic engineering and gave me the outline, and he got the permit for these 2 lots and the remaining land. So the remaining land ends up as lot 1. And then these were lots that were broken off in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So the access here for the remaining lands to meet the 8% grade has been run through lot 3. And the access for lot 2 will be along this existing shared drive to lot 2. The problem is there's a little hill right here, as you can see, that creates a much steeper than 8% to climb up into there. So it came from here. Now, the original plan was to come from Mills Road, but in subsequent research, there's no access to cross this little 50-foot strip of land that belongs here. It goes up around. So we ended up having to come in from here. The property does have road frontage, and the road frontage is at the end of Mills Road, where it runs into the field. But unfortunately, there's quite a dip here in this stream that if you were going to come in from here and cross back. Traditionally, they've always used this crossing here, but it's not illegal access to cross.
Is there 150 feet of road frontage?
Well, that's the question is this lot has obviously all the road frontage and this lot does not. And this lot only would have the 50 feet of road frontage, 49.5 feet of Mills Road technically. But we're adding this right of way here. Again, this is backed into this with Wolcott, right? It's private roads and drives. Every time we run into the same problem about private roads, it's in the regulation, it gives examples of them, but the road frontage creates a problem. The goal is to make lot 3 10 acres, a full 10 acres, and that configuring it was just going to make it an odd shaped lot to do what we wanted to do, to get the road frontage and to stay away from, this is an unused spring that's really wet right here, to try to cross here to keep the road frontage. But again, this is up to whatever the board has to say for what the requirements are for private roads or whatnot. And again, it's private road frontages, the 50-foot of Mills Road that it does technically have, but it's not reasonable to access back to the house. The whole length of the property has this span before subdivided, obviously. has this span of road frontage.
Mhm.
Is there anything you want to add to this?
Not really.
This lot's here, which is was family lot, were subsequently broken off prior to this. They had wastewater permit and all that stuff that was required. And Tom has looked at, and they did this subdivision.
It's actually 2 lots.
So there's 2 lots now, but this subdivision was done after zoning started. But it's nobody said anything since the 90s about this. And tonight, in the discussion, I think, so it doesn't keep coming up about this, it would be nice to ask for amnesty on the history of that, since it's been taxed and nobody's ever stopped it, you know, we're going on 30 years now. So, but that's but they do have septic systems and water and all the stuff for those lots. They do meet the requirement. And then the lots continue. This lot continues all the way up here, and there's a 50-foot shared right of way that this was the Cochrane farm as it was in Craftsbury. It goes up to Cochrane Road, Craftsbury. So there is a right of way that comes through here. So they technically have, you know, a bunch of road frontage on that right of way.
Is that classified as class 4 road?
The class 4 road ends at this property here. It makes
50
it
feet.
makes it a 50-foot.
So the major issue that I see with both of these lots is they do not have 150 feet of road frontage on a public or private road.
Okay. So if we had to make a private road access to, let's say this became a private road that fed lot 3, you know, we branched it off here, and then it came up here into lot 1. And I guess, you know, again, whatever the width of the private road, the minimum 30 feet for 2 residents.
Well,
Would that be a reasonable accommodation?
the road itself, probably wouldn't even have to be 30 feet, but the right of way has to be 50.
The right of way is 50. Okay, that's not, okay, depends on the town. Yep. I got it. We can make that 50. That's not a problem.
So the other thing about private roads is that they have to be the primary access to 2 or more lots. Is that right?
Right.
So ideally that private road would serve both these lots. You know, I don't know about it coming in part way and then teeing off. I guess it could.
As long as it's designated as a road, right?
Right.
As long as we,
It would have to be the same road. So that potentially makes it a little confusing for emergency vehicles. You know,
the other piece of that is that private roads, don't private roads act as subdivisions?
no.
Not for wastewater, for sure.
Yeah, but just in our ordinances, I can't recall. I know
I
public
think
roads
that's
do.
town roads, yeah.
Yeah, town roads usually are an automatic subdivision. Again, because of the grade issue to get to this mobile home here. But you're saying the private road, I guess you're looking at, we can't have a private road to a single lot. It has to feed 2. And then this one, if this was a private road that went to this mobile home here. Yeah, we could have 2 feeding.
If it were the primary access, this is the existing house here. So that would basically be the primary access to this lot.
Yeah.
Essentially. So yes, that would be fine if this was turned into a private road. Then you have to get up to there.
The second lot.
Yeah.
So the only way to
Continue to.
Well, he says-
Well, the problem is that we were trying to avoid doing this from here if we didn't have to. Just because of the proximity of the mobile home to the driveway and the steep grade right here. That was the reasoning for doing this, to come in here, because obviously we lost this portion. That was the reasoning to do that. Alfred, what do you,
Gonna come up and.
Yeah, get
Everything
everything in here.
Is that steep? I don't really.
Well, there's a bump. No, there's a bump right here. These are 20-foot intervals. So there's a bump right
So
here.
this is the driveway that comes
Yeah.
up now. This right here, when it comes up over, it's pretty,
Yes, it's pretty steep.
it's an old gravel pit right there. So it kind of comes up and then levels out.
And then to make that 50 feet, right, to feed that, suddenly puts the trailer and everything into the 50-foot right of way. That's why we were hoping to have this driveway here and then terminate that one there. So there would be no, we would make something non-compliant by putting, you know, a home or septic system inside of that right of way.
Could you bring that 30-foot shared down the hill some closer to the existing house?
I'd have to look at the cattails here. Right now,
That's the driest spot because there is like a spring here and a spring.
And there's a spring right here.
Here. That's why we were kind of engaging in that spot.
yeah,
Just seeing if you could try to find a way to get it to run along the property line.
So with contours being this way, why would you not be?
well, we could, I'm saying we could run this one down to here, yes. And then what you're saying is to come down here and then turn up this way?
Well, not necessarily come right in here if you wanted to, but you're saying that 50 foot would be an issue.
It would be an issue here because we really turn
Okay.
right next, to move the road over to make this 50-foot be compliant. Right through here would push the road way out past here.
Okay.
Um,
And if you came in kind of this way,
yeah, it's wet right here.
Really wet in there all year.
Yeah, if you drive up through there, obviously you can see the springs all the way up. So anyway, if we had to, we could split. It would just have to go down to the trailer here, but it wouldn't matter once it got onto the property, what you guys are doing for the drive.
Could you reconfigure this a lot so you have some road frontage, you know, bring it in here or something? Could you,
Well, again, it starts to get a little wet right here along the road, but we were trying to keep this lot as 10 acres. And then having this mobile home here would start to get a non-conforming shape.
is there a particular reason that you wanted to keep it 10 acres, just personal preference?
It's my son wanted 10 acres of land.
Yeah. Because some
I
people
don't have a problem selling 10, you know,
Yeah.
in
some
my
people
theory.
think it grandfathers themselves.
No, we
Not
have
the
looked at
wastewater
that.
permit, not
Nothing,
everything.
nothing like that. I was looking at it just as he wanted 10 acres because he has animals and things and he wanted to be able to pasture them out. And then this was my other son that we wanted to sell to, and my wife and I always wanted to build up there. So
you have to have access to your lot?
Right.
So, yeah, the rules are pretty strict up, where you need 150 feet of access on public or private road.
so
The private.
Per lot, or per total because there's 2 lots, right?
Well, no, 150, well,
On each lot.
on each lot has. 150.
Unless you have a private road that feeds 2 lots.
Still needs to have 150 foot on that road.
Yes, this would have to have 150 feet on that private road, and this also would have to. Which means that say we're calling this a private road here, it would have to extend up into it by, we've been saying 75.
Right, yeah.
You've got both sides of the road here.
Yeah.
that would be easy. This part I know would be easy.
Right. But the idea is.
Well, so I'll show you, let me get my crayon here.
Yeah.
Show you what he's talking about. This is how we dealt with this right before, is what you're saying is you take this now 50 foot, right? But you come up
Yes.
into the property with that, right?
And then you.
And then you count, okay, all 3 of those legs. All right. And that's how you beat that. And then what we're saying though is what's the branch over here?
Right.
Does it still count as?
Yeah, so, what kind of roads go in and then T, and then it's still the same road is what I'm saying.
Right, I understand. Yeah.
Okay, so why can't we take this road and come up, in between this and that house? Can we take it, kind of come up this way?
We could, we'd have to see if we could meet the 8%. And
That's
So you
only
only
thing
go,
We can have up to 200 feet at 10%.
right,
We could allow that.
no problem. There's one steep spot that we have to get over. That's the
Is it?
Well, the other
No, it's probably all gravel.
The other option
Gravel.
is to come up here, come over and run right into this. Would that be?
And then.
Would that be correct?
Driveway up.
Right, and then once it comes in here, you can turn and come into here. We could move this line to get to 10 acres. We could move this line like this.
That way.
Yeah, here and adjust it, and we could hammer this, even if it's into here, as long as it touches that.
That would work.
So if it's just gonna be on the corner, you're gonna have to come 150 feet.
Right.
Because you only got one side.
That's still, it doesn't affect any of the lot because it just drops over the bank. Right
Yeah.
there.
Because I personally, I'm fine with that. I just want to make it. That wouldn't, I don't think would be a big deal. If that's what it's gonna take to make it go through.
You know what the topography is here. So this is the edge of the field, this wavy line here.
That's the other line, yeah. And it drops
And
off.
it drops with you right down.
Yeah. Did you have enough room to get 150?
Well, if we had to, we can reconfigure this
Oh,
line to come in.
Yeah.
Because I can move this line like that if I needed to, right? And just come up a little bit further over here. And then, so it runs into it and has plenty of room.
it's probably the shortest way that you would end up with a road, because the other thing about private roads is they have to meet some.
Right.
They're laid out on the town highway standards. Doesn't mean you're gonna be putting in a class 3 road, but it might be more than a driveway.
Well, I want it to be a good drive. Either way, I want it to be pretty decent drive.
Well, we have to meet the 8%.
Yeah, so
That's the biggest thing. And like you said, 200 for 10 would get us any of this right here. You know what I mean? If we're gonna be on the contour here. But then after that, it doesn't, it's flat here for the most part. It's a long strip in the field. It's just getting down to that. We may have to knock out the top of the gravel pit there.
when I say that is what it is.
Right, but it keeps our setbacks correct, because again, pushing a 50-foot right of way through here would do that to that lot. And then it would make it the building's non.
The building will be non-conforming.
Yes. Yeah, it's 25-foot setback.
And if you change this into a road here, that would be questionable as to whether that building might become non-conforming. 25-foot setback, that,
Depends on where, if the road's in the center line of the right of way,
right?
you know, because you could run right of way like this and then down
Yeah,
like that. But there might be some other buildings there involved, so.
yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna.
The only other question being, because, and I'm clarifying with you, Jim, because that new 30-foot right of way becomes a 50, comes in, feeds those two lots, that does not mean that the existing house on the 10-acre needs to be fed from the same drive.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Feeding two or more lots here.
Yeah.
Excellent.
No, I just want to make sure we didn't have to abandon that driveway and run down to there.
So essentially, this is kind of turning into more of a sketch review than an actual subdivision here. Because we actually tried before to okay with conditions, many conditions, and it didn't work out for it. It came back with like, what the hell is this?
Right. No, I understand. But I can make it, as long as what we've done here, and then we'll go through the rest of the process as you go through your checklist. We'll go through the rest of the checklist. And as long as I take do whatever changes, I can submit it to Tom here by this weekend. So next week, you know, and then you guys could meet. And I understand it's a sketch review, but you would have time to look at it before the next meeting to come in and take a look to see if there's any changes that I can make.
We can email it out.
So I don't have to do it at a meeting and turn it into a fix again.
Right. Yeah.
And I can email a PDF, and I'll give everybody advice. If you get an email, download it, and then you can zoom in, because you can't just click on it in the email and zoom. For whatever reason, you download it and it works fine.
Okay. All right, well, let's see what else is on the list. I mean, those really are the two things.
Okay. Well, I'll stand here and make lots of progress.
Criteria 114. Okay, so first part of it here is dimensional requirements, no lot, less than 2 acres in this area, so you've got 3, you've got 10, and you've got 42. Dimensions and shape, I'm not seeing an issue there. You can fit a 2-acre lot in anywhere on this here. And if you try to get a regular shape.
Yeah, you could.
Well, what we're saying is in the past, any lot that wasn't like square or.
Right.
When we.
Yeah, I'm saying you could
Change
do
that.
some 2-acre lots. You know what I mean? That would be
Right.
all
You
conforming.
would fit them in there.
Yeah.
So that one's fine. This one's already.
2 acres.
Oh, it's, it is. But I'm saying because it's in a shape like that, it has to meet that criteria where a 2-acre square, more or less square lot would fit in it. Clearly does here, this obviously does. Frontage, we've addressed that. Access the lots, that's still. A proposed access on a private road must meet the access requirements contained with the town highway standards. Visible lots, that's what you have your. And this addresses water systems, and we don't really have much.
We have a permit for all the lots, fresh wastewater permit.
When you do the drawing, it probably it should show where the wells are.
Yeah, so this one's fed by
Yeah.
a spring.
Yeah.
This one's fed by a spring, and then the survey I can add wherever we get the drink.
And this is the septic for this one.
And then I can add it on here.
Okay.
Usually that kind of crowds the survey a little bit, so I know.
It does.
Yeah.
It's again, it's kind of out of our purview way at this point. But I think this is kind of a fallback to what it used to be.
Yeah, I understand.
Utilities, locations of existing and proposed utilities.
So this has existing, I can add utilities on here. The poles right there that they're getting out from.
Street design and layout. Again, roads proposed and constructed under these bylaws, designed in accordance with the town of Wolcott highway standards ordinance. Just upgrade the existing roads, doesn't really matter, so that road will have to have a road name.
Okay.
Help us.
I've got the list of things that I'm gonna
Yeah, so
use.
that's gonna be like a horseshoe road.
It's gonna be,
Both access.
no, this is gonna. Whatever it is now, it's probably what it's gonna
Oh,
be.
that goes to this house?
Yeah, and then this is going to cover these, so it's just gonna go up into here.
Yeah.
And that'll be 911 addresses for both of these.
I'll look at the list. I think I have the list of all the road names in the Moyle County. So we don't duplicate or have a near road name. I might have to look at Craftsbury a little bit, because I mean, I don't want to
Ordinance to look at.
have the same road name across the town line.
I think the select board does have to approve them. Not certain of that, but.
I think there was something about that.
But it's good to have them have time to think about it, come up with a name, so
Yeah.
you guys can know what it is.
Project roads usually are three or more houses, no, not two.
It's 2 or more.
Two or more?
Yeah, we had the select board change that.
Oh, okay.
We changed this. It used to be 3 or more.
Oh.
We changed it to 2 or more. It was really kind of forcing people to do 3 lots subdivisions when they only wanted to do 2.
Right.
Right.
Some of the rest of this stuff is for larger subdivisions, like pedestrian bicycle facilities and access, stormwater management. You're gonna have to follow whatever the state
Yeah.
rules are. State permits. The subdivision will create more than an acre, but again, that's state permit.
That gets covered under this wastewater permit. When you do these now, you gotta go through the permit navigator, and it triggers anything that's gonna come up possible.
Fire hydrants and ponds, fire ponds, dry hydrants. Again, this is,
That was 10 lots within 10 years, I think, when those became applicable.
subdivision greater than 1 mile from an existing or results in the creation of 10 or more new lots. So that doesn't really apply to street, streets and sidewalks, recreation areas, land, protection of ag soils.
I didn't put the ag soils on here, but I can add that.
It hasn't really affected what we would allow to be subdivided or not, particularly on small. I mean, if you were coming in here and wanted to put 9 lots in here, we'd probably look a little closer.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. So it's pretty much the access. The issue here. You can.
I'll add these other notes. I'll reconfigure this a little bit right here. Get the road set in, and then I'll get it to Tom so the board can have time to look at it. So when we come to the next meeting, there's no more changes to go home and do again. I don't want to do that again.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's,
I'm going to leave you with the original one. Okay. I'm going to take the one
Who says it, we're gonna come back next month, or
I guess so. I mean, they don't have really another option. We'll be back next month. So.
okay, so. Guess we're recessing 2467 S until the next. Was it the 4th Wednesday of the month that we're on?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
We do the 4th Wednesday of the month.
No, that was just because of the holidays and then the.
So we're normally the 3rd Wednesday.
It's third, it's normally the 4th. 3rd Wednesday is select board.
Yeah, first and.
We're normally the 4th, we're in the 5th right now. Because of the holiday, we pushed to the 5th this month.
Okay. So whatever that date is.
The 4th Wednesday of February.
Yeah, so that's like 28th is on like Friday, 27th, 26th, 26th.
26, 6 o'clock.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, Joey.
Yeah. The time being anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's recording both. The speaker's not highlighted. It's either you or we don't. So you don't need to get a.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a two, this one.
Your road is.
Heathrow.
Well, I think it's all Dave's property.
Oh, Davis.
Yeah. Yeah, it always was.
Meeting, for applications 1468S.
Gotta swear people out too.
Yeah. Anybody here that wants to testify on this, Randy Judkins, Judkins-Schmidt, 2 acre subdivision? Anybody that wants to speak up, I'll have to swear you in.
I'm not sure if I want to or not, but
Just say yes.
Yeah,
yes.
you can swear me in.
So, do you vow to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth about your testimony on this matter this evening?
I do.
So, guess you can explain to me what we have going on here.
This is their house here. Property. Yeah, those are the owners of the property over there. They own 118 acres out back here. We're trying to build a house, back here in lot 1. 3.7 acre lot.
Okay. And this is your road frontage here.
Yes, correct. Yeah, I just look at that back.
So what is?
So it's.
The one here.
So, yeah, this is cut out your neighbor. I think basically it starts with the button right here.
Yeah.
There's the road.
So it was rather, it was probably.
You have to say these.
Yeah.
No, it's just, no, yeah. Right.
Brother was.
No, that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was thinking.
Oh, I don't know how much.
Cause I saw your name.
118 acres is all of this. Side to other lines.
Yeah, Jack Dwyer, must have owned this there.
Yeah.
We bought your property.
Oh, okay. So
That's not currently in Sanders. What, the whole 118 acres of it? Do I have to keep that reserved? No,
Okay, so
no.
do you,
Is this-
are you able to come up here and explain that?
What do you mean land use?
I thought that it was in a conservation easement. I guess I just operated under that understanding. I had no idea.
I think that was the question.
Excellent.
Wouldn't matter to us.
So this is the existing Heath Road, running up into here. 150, so their lot is going to come. This is gonna be from here to here, or are we talking?
Yeah, correct. Yep. Yep, here to here.
Yeah, so
150 feet here, so you're actually upgrading it out to here. It's not gonna be this curved portion.
Yeah.
You're going out 150 feet from here to here. Yeah, I think that meets that criteria. The lot size is big enough that it's regular shape. Okay, well, we can go through the, unless anybody's got any other questions about this.
Trying to get my bearings on the map here. Would this be Whitman's Burn? No, that's Randy Gutters.
yeah, that's a ton of firms.
Oh.
This is just right past our house. It goes up into Tunk, and then this is a guy, Goodrich, he actually parks his camper there.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
down in
yeah.
Arizona,
Okay. Right on.
comes up in the summers.
I think Greenwood's further down.
Yeah, Greenwood, if you keep going, I believe that's
And
For the
it
demo.
goes-
So it's not even really close.
Yeah, I was just wondering why how it affects my property, but I'm like, or how it would affect me. The only thing I can think of is my spring, which is across the road by Whitmer's, what used to be Glen Burkholder.
Mhm.
So I don't know where that is on this map, like,
So this is just a small portion of the property, you know, this is, I mean, out of
22.
118, it says on there, I mean, this is like we're seeing like 4 acres of it.
okay.
So you would probably be like in reality.
I'm over here, that's another lot, so this whole area is what you're trying to subdivide?
Yeah, we're just trying to make it so my son and his wife and the 2 children, you know, can
Sure,
with the
sure.
price of houses and everything, and just trying to keep them close and.
Thank God, but that.
We agree. We live on this like that. We know that.
And, you know, like I was saying earlier, on the DRB, and in Wolcott, we really do not regulate where water systems can and cannot go. At one point, we tried to do that where if, you know, he wanted to put a septic system here or a well, that we wanted to show, you know, the well boundary, the shadow, they call it, or, and the state just told us outright that we could not do that. So when they took it over in 2007, it was pretty much out of our hands completely.
I do think the building permit application wants you to demonstrate compliance with state wastewater regs, but that's as deep as we get.
So this is a sketch plan. I will point out that when you do your actual plat,
Mhm.
that it's gonna have to show any of the neighbors.
In a larger lot, you'll have
Yeah.
to see everything else.
Information. Your surveyor should know.
Yeah, he's the one I could get in touch with. He's in Ferry or something like that. I tried to get in touch with Matt Reed, but he was busy.
And so this is just a sketch.
Yeah, just a sketch plan, yeah, before I have him actually come survey and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Just basically trying to see if there was a possibility for us.
Yeah, before
we.
Yeah.
No, and it looks like it's well thought out too. If you ever want to subdivide further on, that Heath Road just keeps getting longer. You can keep getting your frontage on the same line.
Yeah, I mean, we thought like down the road, you know, we got a couple of smaller kids, you know, when they got bigger, you know, maybe we would try to put something up further, smaller house.
Yeah. Well, the land's
It's pretty big, Ron.
the land in this subdivision will outlive all of us, so.
Yeah.
Thinking about how strict rules are gonna get.
Yeah.
Trying to plan for these things so that we don't have funky looking roads to make zoning
I think it'd be a
regulations.
better idea to kind of look at where, because we have an idea where we want to build eventually. Would it be a better idea to try to put that all into a plan at once for you guys?
Yeah, if they're really gonna do it.
I mean, we're looking, you know, it was just something we weren't looking for 8 years.
Like a
you know,
retirement.
10 years.
If you really wanted, if you really thought you wanted to do that, you might want to, because you know what the laws are today and what they are tomorrow, I can't.
Yeah.
tell you.
Yeah, who knows what the changes will be.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we weren't sure, you know, we were just more, this was more of a now thing, you know. that way.
Get a roof over it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so the gist of it is that
Yeah, the gist
these
of it.
lots have to be at least 2 acres. They have to be regularly shaped, well, not erratically long and thin. And they have to have 150 feet of road frontage on a public or private road.
Yeah.
This is a public road, so I assume, actually, I don't.
I think
know.
Heath is private.
Is it private?
Yeah.
So.
And, you know, we bought it like that, you know, so we don't even know, like, okay, he throws his private road, where does it stop? You know, they get, like, they have a mailbox like right here, you know?
Something like that.
Well, so because it's a private road, you can just keep it. Okay, however long you want, but again, you're gonna have to meet the town of Wolcott highway standards.
Yeah.
Really?
And that's just something we didn't know either, you know, kind of why we're here with some questions.
So,
like
so
that.
that's on the
Yeah.
website. And it goes by the number of houses on the lot. They assign a certain number of car trips per house. or maybe per bedroom, I'm not sure. But, you know, there's like a chart in there, and then it'll tell you what the lane widths have to be.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I think we've talked a little bit about that
Yeah.
with the other guy, you know. So,
Looks good for now, for a good sketch.
Yeah,
Seems good enough to dump a little more money into it.
Yeah.
get a bigger one.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't get too carried away carving up like a whole bunch of lots where you get.
No, the reason we done that is we just want, you know, family there and, you know, quiet, you know, it's nothing, we don't wanna develop it by any means, you
I'm all
know,
for that.
so, yeah. It's really just us, the kids, is all, we're not looking to make lots and sell lots and do anything like that.
You have my blessing.
We like to-
I'm gonna
we
cut
like
out.
I think that's gonna improve the town.
Thank you, guys.
Nice meeting you.
care.
Yeah, nice to meet you as well, yeah.
Catherine.
I remember.
Yeah, easy, everybody. I think it was great, especially to learn into a house and not.
Nice to meet you, Jim. So this is my son Tucker.
Hi.
This is his wife Laura.
Hi, Laura. So that's the new house.
Yeah, that's the one we're trying to get. We're thinking about, we got two little ones, that's gonna be a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old, so.
Boy.
Couple
Yeah.
little grandkids.
Don't you love it?
Yeah, and especially if we can keep them close, right?
We've got a couple 2-year-olds plus all the way up to. Yeah, we love them.
Yeah, oh, yeah, like a dozen or 15.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
Long enough.
Longer.
Yeah, I guess.
This your normal.
I will point out, it doesn't really have to be because some people may come out lots.
Well, good. Yeah, my dad said. We're found out.
Yeah, I can do that too. Come on, chat with these.
Sorry. No,
This guy is surveyor.
Yeah, he's.
But he's from Fletcher,
Yeah, he's
so
from
it might not be that familiar.
Strange.
We tried to get.
I know from my own.
Yeah, we tried to walk along. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, you know.
Do you guys know?
I understand it.
Oh, you do? Yeah.
Reading
That's
this
great.
book.
So you have all the criteria.
Yeah.
Some apply. So we can hurry it.
Yeah, it was just.
Oh, yeah.
If it does, he's gonna. Somebody local would be better for us.
Yeah, there are some rules. We gotta have utilities marked, we gotta have neighbors marked, but that's all in the final.
Some of that stuff is from. Our old regulations were looking at every one of these subdivided lots is gonna have a house.
all this land.
Read the regulations, it just stated that.
Yeah.
One lot has to have a permit.
Any of the.
No, I said.
This goes on to this.
You know what?
Someone goes, there's a bunch of fields over here. And so like, that's essentially we were
This becomes a lot.
10 years, maybe put a small place. for it.
Just the adjoining.
Big houses, sink if cooling house.
I know that when.
Yeah.
Lot sets out.
And she could be seasonal too, it could be this time of year for it. Might not just be you.
Yeah, she does the right. Well, anyway, it's always.
Utilities, if you don't currently have a wastewater permit, we don't need to see it on the subdivision.
Well, you got my phone number. Great.
If you get one, it needs to be marked and permit number needs to be ready. Landowners, utilities. And any other kind of. We don't have any wetland regulation. We don't need to see wetlands on the plan here.
I mean, if we were doing like a 6 lot up and above.
Yeah.
But basically, we take over the role of Act 250.
Yeah.
And in that case, then it would be a different criteria.
Yeah.
You know, at least for me. That's where the ag soils come in,
Right.
the wetlands and the giant boulder. It's like,
So should we try to maybe get scheduled into you guys' next meeting and try to get a lot of work done in the next few weeks? You wanna try to do that?
if you get something,
In a month? Yeah, we're checking.
We try to get on the ball.
Yeah.
We can schedule it for that, we postpone it again.
Yeah, okay, so want to do that and then.
We're already gonna be here.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a great point.
so we're going to recess this 2468 S until the next meeting in
February 26th.
I put it down for 6 o'clock because I used to put times, but then the times didn't work out.
Yeah.
And if I say 6:30, but the other one ends at 6:15, we can't start. till
Yeah, you're
6:30.
sitting around waiting around, right? So it makes a lot more sense.
Wait a little while.
Yeah. It's no problem.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. And we'll see you in a month.
Any further, I can contact me.
Yeah, I'll probably come back in second with you and that would be a little bit. Just so make sure I'm on the same page.
Yeah.
they're always doing something.
It seems a little daunting, but it's just.
Yeah. Something that is.
Right.
For all of us.
Yeah.
February 26th, 6 p.m. Thank you guys so
Awesome.
much.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm done.
Nice to meet you.
Business or-
Yeah.
Put my name on the picture.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, thank you guys so much. and
Thank
we'll,
you.
See you in a month.
Thanks.
Thanks for all the help.
You have any other business?
No.
Any other business? Any other business?
Was there anyone on?
No, nobody came on except for me.
Hey, I guess the meeting's adjourned.
Oh, someone's gonna make a motion. Point of order.
You should have run for select.
I've actually been doing that. I thought this was like more laid back here.
Yeah.
Do I have a motion for?
I'll make a motion. though.
I'll second that. Oh, take a motion.
Any further discussion?
You've seen too many meetings.
All in favor? Adjournment.
Actually.
Yeah, I didn't move that food.
I know that you gotta have the vote for an adjournment, do you?
Oh.
The rescue, pretty much, you know, they pretty much know what they're doing, but we don't vote on it.
Maybe not our meetings are every minute.
Of course. Subdivision law